Now, Justice Jackson concurred with the majority, but not entirely. I agree with the court that law enforcement officers conducted a search when they accessed petitioner Chattry's location history. I write separately because I would have gone further to explain that this search violated the Fourth Amendment. As the court observes, when officers have obtained a warrant, the validity of the search turns on whether a magistrate has properly found probable cause to support a particularly described search. In my view, it is clear that at a minimum, the second and third stages of the search process here did not satisfy this foundational requirement. Interesting. Justice Jackson was okay with the original request for the geofence, but not the subsequent request for data. I wonder why. At step 2, the warrant authorized officers to access an additional hour's worth of location history unbound by the geofence's perimeter. Though the warrant stated that officers would attempt to narrow the list down of devices subject to this step, there was no explicit requirement that they do so. Nor did the warrant set forth any criteria that officers would use in their narrowing efforts. It appears Justice Jackson has a concern with the specificity of the warrant at the second and third steps. After all, the Fourth Amendment's warrant clause requires a warrant to particularly describe the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. The problems become worse at the third step, since now Google is expected to turn over not just devices that were in the area, but the personal information of the owners. The same infirmities carry over to step 3. At this step, the warrant authorized officers to access identifying account information, including the username, date of birth, account number, and any email addresses or telephone numbers associated with the accounts. Once again, the warrant stated only that the officers would attempt to narrow the list without setting forth any criteria to do so. Now, since neither step 2 or 3 actually required law enforcement to narrow down the list of devices whose owners' data it would be shared, it no longer particularly described devices to be searched and the data for whose devices is to be seized.